Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Brad Kollar with us, and Brad grew up in Fountain Valley. And for those that may not know where Fountain Valley is, I'm not sure I know where it is. Brad, maybe you can give us a little history of how you started in Fountain Valley and started doing your father's payroll at the age of 14 or 15. It's a fascinating story.
Sure. It's good to be here. Thanks. So I grew up in Fountain Valley. I was number four of six kids, and Fountain Valley is just inland from Huntington Beach, so right in central Orange County. We were talking earlier. I was telling you my family, the six kids. The house was always chaos, and so getting any homework done was just impossible. It was an impossible task. So my dad gave me the keys to his office, and I would go over to his office and do my homework there, or where it was quiet after business hours. And then I go into the plan room, and back when we had plan rooms and big sets of blueprints, and started reading through those and kind of teaching myself how to read plans. And I started measuring walls and measuring ceilings, and I would leave my notes for my dad's estimators. And then they would come back the next day and read my notes and kind of give me some pointers on what I missed and what I got right. And that went on for a bit. And so I started doing takeoffs for him. And then he bought a computer. This was back in, I want to say 1982, something like that. I think I was a sophomore in high school. So I was 14, 15. I graduated early. So when I was younger, I was 17 when I graduated. So I think I was 14 when I was a sophomore. But he got this computer, and he didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know how to work it. And it was a floppy disk computer. So I learned how to use it. The bank gave us a payroll software, and I learned that, and I started running his payroll for about 80 to 100 guys every week. And so I did that for a couple of years while I was working other jobs and going to school. I was doing the estimating as well along the way. So I got a chance to do that and run the payroll. Eventually I started actually winning work for him as an estimator. And then he sold out to a company out of Chicago, and they closed him down. And one of our clients that I worked with called me and said, "Hey, do you want to come be an estimator for me?" And I said, I don't know anything about tilt-up buildings or industrial buildings or anything like that. And he said, "Don't worry about it. I'll teach you everything." So I went to work for him when I think it was after high school. So I was 18, 19. I went to work for him, and he taught me pretty much everything I know. And it was a great experience. He was a great guy. I still talk to him. He's probably, I think he's in his 80s now. Yeah. So that was a great experience for me.
So then you kind of leapfrog from there to working on Amazon construction projects.
Yeah. So I worked for a couple more general contractors, and then I started my own company. I had that for about 17 years. And then I went to work for a company called Oltman's Construction out of Whittier out in LA. And when the pandemic hit, when COVID came, Amazon went crazy. And then we did everything Amazon. We were building buildings for them. We were doing renovations of existing buildings, bringing in their delivery stations and fulfillment centers and sort centers and all that kind of stuff. And it was just nonstop Amazon work for a few years. And then they slowed down, and I came to work for Upright Construction at that point. And so we're still doing Amazon work at Upright. We do work for Tesla as well. Quite a bit of work for Tesla. And so I've been with Upright for about 3.5, almost 4 years now.
Wow. So that's very intriguing. So I want to back up for a second here, go back to Amazon. Would you actually put some of the guts inside the building, or were you just doing the shells?
Well, we would do the shells, and then the interior renovations or the interior fit outs included their restrooms and offices. We would do all of their dock equipment, all of their power runs for their conveyance systems,
Hmm.
and then we would do the fencing for their robotics. They had a lot of robotics facilities that we did, and we would do the fencing around those, and all the power, of course, for all of that stuff. And they're just full of stuff, and they have a lot of
Sure.
different vendors that work in conjunction with the general contractor that's building everything out. But we're kind of running all the power feeds to all their equipment, and building all the offices, bathrooms, the shipping receiving offices, and all that stuff.
So I'm just curious, what were they like 800 amps? How many amps would you bring into not even
No,
close?
if it depends on the size of the building and the use, whether it was, if it was a sort facility, they had bigger conveyance systems, so we need a little more power. But typically between 2 and 4,000 amps. If it was a 1 million foot building,
Wow.
it'd be maybe 8,000 to 12,000 amps.
Wow.
Because of a 1 million foot building, we did one that was 4 stories inside, and it was all robotics and conveyance systems. So it was very, very power hungry.
Very power hungry. So, yeah, that might, I mean, is that much power out there? Is that difficult to get sometimes?
Yeah, it's impossible to get sometimes, but
Yeah.
the build takes a year, so you start working on the power 6 months before you start. So you've got 18 months to figure it out. And during the pandemic, the issues with switchgear was always an issue, just getting the switchgear in time. So we would
Oh,
always order it early, and then you just get in the queue, and hopefully it gets delivered when you need it.
oh boy. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a nightmare, but it sounds like you got
Yeah.
through it pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, everybody. It was chaos, and it was the Wild West. You just did everything you could. You begged, you borrowed, you pleaded to get stuff that to make the schedules, because the schedules were everything.
Yeah, right, right. So I'm still in awe of Amazon. I mean, you can order some little trinket for $5 and
Yeah,
it's on your doorstep the next day. And I can't understand how that happens.
yeah.
I mean,
It is remarkable. I just commented on that this morning. We're here, and we're in the middle of nowhere here, where I'm on vacation right now, and my wife ordered a little tube of bug bug stuff that you put on
yeah,
after you get
right.
a bug bite,
Yeah.
and she ordered it, and a UPS truck delivered it in a small little box, and the item is this big. So how is that? How do they make money? And I said exactly that. I just don't know, and it's just
Yeah,
volume. It's just a
yeah,
lot of that
yeah.
stuff, and
Well, yeah, I mean, I assume you're on Amazon Prime, so they make a little
of
money on
course,
that side. But
sure,
I mean, it's still amazing to me that they can produce what they do. So
yeah.
they obviously have the system down. And then moving to Tesla. So what are you building for Tesla?
Well, Tesla has a couple different programs right now that they're doing. They have the sales, service, and delivery stations, which are exactly that, and they're typically about a 50,000 foot tilt-up building, and they pack about 10 pounds of garbage and or stuff into a 5 pound bag.
Yeah, of
So they're
course.
just there's not an inch of that place that's not utilized. And then they have the collision centers as well, where they work on the
Oh,
vehicles themselves. So yeah, so a couple different types of facilities, and then there's some other stuff that we're chasing with them as well.
yeah. So it just kind of depends on what's going on. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. Well, I'm getting a note from my wife. You know how that is. Anyway,
The 4 year old's burning down the house.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So anyway, actually, the 4-year-old's going with her, so we're safe. And the 1-year-old, the 1.5-year-old's out having a nap. So I think we're good for
Okay.
a minute. Yeah,
All right.
it's all good. Uh, so, all right. So, what's your flavor for the future? What do you think is going to happen? What do you see out there in the crystal ball?
Well, the whole tariff thing is still just kind of got everybody scratching their head trying to figure out what's happening with that. And, if it's having an effect, nobody can really answer. It's certainly having an emotional effect, a psychological effect, but we're not seeing the massive prices just yet, because I just don't know that they're even in place. Um, but we're fortunate at Upright right now. We're fortunate enough that very fortunate that we have several build to suit projects, which
Mhm.
right now nobody's building. Not a lot of people are building spec.
Right,
Um,
right.
so we've got several build to suit projects that are of significant size that are kind of keeping us going, and we're still growing. I think
Wow.
first year we did 70 million when we first started doing industrial, and this that was 3 years ago, and this year we'll exceed more than 400 million
Wow. Wow.
easily. Yeah, so it's been
That's a
we're
big
just
number. Yeah.
yeah. Last year we did 300 million, so we're just continually growing. Every business unit we have they're all very successful, and they're all doing great. They're all growing right along with us.
So I'm curious, what's the state of computer estimating right now?
We have a pretty robust system, software that we use, that we kind of, the estimators will write their exhibit A's for the scopes of work, and so that when the bids start coming in from the subcontractors, they can level them out. And
Mhm.
they already know the scope of work, and that's in this bid system. And then the bid system, the estimator will enter the bids, and it kind of goes through and tells us what they're missing.
Oh, wow.
Um, and then it puts it onto a spreadsheet that we can give to the client as the bid. We're not using digitizers anymore.
Oh, you
You know,
did for a while and
yeah,
decided,
yeah,
yeah.
I did when I was with my dad as a subcontractor. We had a
Oh, wow.
digitizer that we hooked up to one of those computers, and it worked pretty well. It was you could have a stack of drawings that were 2 inches thick, and it still read your button pushing
Oh, wow.
your pen. But the systems, they I think they could be better, but it still comes down to the estimator knowing the scope and being able to decipher the subcontractor's bids and putting it in the right place. It still comes down to that human factor.
So what's the software you use for this bid spreadsheet?
It's called Destiny.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that part of it sounds pretty good.
yeah. It is, and it we have a it's there's two components to it. There's the Destiny estimating part of it, and then the bid day part of it. So on bid day, we literally go through each subcontractor's scope of work and then their pricing, and we can pick a sub, and it moves all their information to, this is our selected subcontractor for this job, and it takes their number and puts it into the spreadsheet that goes to the client.
Oh, wow. So it sounds like AI hasn't really caught up with estimating yet.
No, I mean, eventually it'd be nice if when AI can read a set of drawings and kind of give you all the information, the takeoffs, and
Right.
there's this many square feet of asphalt and this many square feet of concrete paving and that kind of stuff. But it's not there yet. It's just not there.
So it sounds like your in-house estimators go through and figure out what they think the numbers are, and then the bids come in and then you compare the two and decide which group you want to go with from the,
Yeah, yeah. We have to know what the numbers are, what they should be. So when the
yeah,
subcontractor's number comes in and it's way off, that's a
yeah.
red flag. So we can, kind of figure out what went wrong. What are we not seeing, or what are they not seeing? And it just helps us not get those misses that are so annoying.
Oh yeah, no, well, those cost a lot of money sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you don't want to miss those. Yeah. So it sounds like it's sort of a mutual uh situation where the bids come in and sometimes the bidder may have the better number than your in-house people, and you got to kind of massage it back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, well, we're always going to use the subcontractor's number. I mean, our
Oh, yeah.
estimating
Oh,
is
yeah.
simply it's just for a check, just a
Oh, I
check number to
see.
make
I
sure that
see.
we
You're
we know
not too
we're
far.
going in the right direction. Yeah,
Well, you don't want to take a subcontractor that's so far off that they end up
right.
on wheels up, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So, well, and how much do you rely on past experience with a subcontractor?
Well, there's always the guy that he always misses this or he always has that hidden exclusion, and that, so you make allowances for that, and you cover yourself.
Yeah,
There's guys that just can't seem to pick up something that's in their scope of work, but they always miss it. You just know those guys because you've been burned before. You get burned too many times, you figure it out.
Yeah, and you if you lose money too many times, you can't keep going.
Right.
No
Yeah.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, I've done enough. I spent 12 years in the design business, and we started out with do you remember the compact computer? Was
Oh
that
yeah.
was
The
that what you
Desk
were on
Pro.
with the fluff? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the 286 Desk Pro.
So we were on a 286 Desk Pro, and we did 120,000 square feet for the First National Bank of Colorado Springs. And the screen was like this big.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know how our computer person did it, but she was amazing. And you'd get these, full-size printouts, but
yeah,
it's a whole different world out there.
yeah. Yeah,
Now,
that first guy that I worked for, he had a house in Old Town Orange, down in the Circle. That was his office, and he had dug out a basement to add to the space. My office was down in the basement, and we
okay.
actually we had a blueprint machine down there, where
Oh
you
yeah.
actually have the alcohol, and you mix up the
Oh
chemicals,
wow.
and you put in the mylar, and it prints out a copy of an actual blueprint. And that stuff is pretty toxic. You get hot,
Oh
really
yeah.
hot. You
Oh,
get
oh
really high
wow.
down there.
Oh man, and the world has completely changed, but it
Isn't that
sort of
crazy?
feels a little bit right now like that hurdle that was gone through in the early 80s and has now exploded to what it is now is maybe starting to happen again with this whole AI revolution. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're using AI a little bit for tracking writing items, and some our exclusions and qualifications, and then our prime contracts. We'll get a prime contract from a client, and we'll feed it into. We have an AI contract um, document reader that kind of goes through and gives us things that we know we're looking for, and it'll
oh,
search for
interesting.
those things and find
Wow.
it and tell you this is what it says, and then we can make a business decision. We'll meet as a group and review those things, and we'll make a decision on whether we're going to push back or whether we're going to accept it. And um, so we're using it quite a bit in that regard.
So is that your in-house attorney or attorneys also in this room, or is that just
Yeah,
your own group?
there's items that we feel we can manage, and so we kind of reduce the number of things that we actually put in front of our attorney. It saves time, it saves money, and so there's we're never doing it without an attorney looking at it,
Right.
ultimately. But then we kind of weed out the easy stuff in the beginning, and then give him the hard ones to kind of guide us
I
through
like it.
those.
I like it.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, AI is very amazing for certain things like that. So I
yeah,
think, at some point maybe it'll get into the blueprint estimating business, but that may be a while.
yeah. Maybe it might be next month. We don't know,
Yeah.
as fast as this
Yeah.
stuff's going.
Who knows? Yeah, it'll be interesting, the things that are coming out now. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
whole world of real estate that's changing due to AI. So anyway, well, this has been very fascinating. And just to end
yeah.
for fun, what's your favorite sandwich or food?
Oh, probably sushi.
Oh, wow.
Sushi is
Okay.
probably the favorite food. Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't, in 160 podcasts, I don't think anybody has said sushi yet. So that's
Oh, okay.
excellent. I spent time in Japan, so I know sushi well. And
Yeah.
who maybe in the world, live or dead, would you like to sit with and have some sushi?
Well, I'm reading a book right now about just the beginning of the Civil War, and Abraham
Uh,
Lincoln
oh,
is a very interesting character. So yeah, I think Abraham Lincoln would be a good one.
is this a new book or a previous book?
It's I think it's fairly new. It's Eric Larson is the author.
Oh, I'm gonna look this one up. All right.
Yeah, and it's
Looking for a
I
new book.
can't remember the name of it, but
That's all right. We'll get you got the author.
mhm,
That's great.
yeah.
So, well, cool. Well, I think we could talk. Well, maybe we should talk next week about whether AI has come up.
Yeah,
So,
I'll
so when
send you
it
my
does
first
happen,
takeoff.
I want you to call me and tell me
Sure.
that we're going to do it. So anyway, that'll be fascinating. I look forward to another conversation.
Yeah, I do too.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.